House Speaker Mike Johnson just got a dire warning about the status of his job. I'm guessing he's probably crying in a closet somewhere. Take that as you will. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish, coming to you on location from the San Diego Comic-Con. So forgive the informal dress. If you're down here this weekend and see me on the floor or signing books, come shake my hand and say hello. I'd love to meet you in person. Now, on to our story. Mike Johnson isn't having the best week, owing in large part to the Epstein files. The Republican Party is currently split over how to proceed about the scandal. The Trump administration had, of course, vowed to release the files before backtracking, now going so far as to call them a Democratic hoax. Right. As congressional cries to release the files intensify, and as Trump continues to cower in fear, Johnson doesn't quite know what to say. First, he started with this.
I'm for transparency. We're intellectually consistent in this. Look, Reagan used to tell us we should trust the American people. I believe in that principle. I know President Trump does as well, and I trust him. I mean, he put together a team of his choosing, and they're doing a great job. It's a very delicate subject, but we should put everything out there and let the people decide it. I mean, the White House and the White House team are privy to facts that I don't know. I mean, this isn't my lane. I haven't been involved in that. But I agree with the sentiment that we need to put it out there. And you know, Pam Bondi, I don't know, when she originally made the statement, I think she was talking about documents, as I understood it, they were on her desk. I don't know that she was specific about a list or whatever, but she needs to come forward and explain that to everybody.
But by yesterday, Johnson had changed his tune.
Quickly weigh in on Epstein. Many are hoping to see more of those files released. There could be future court proceedings. Is there any reason that you have to believe that any documents were tampered with by so-called deep state operatives?
Look, it hasn't been my area that I've worked on. Unfortunately, I wish I knew more about it. It's been in the Department of Justice. One of our concerns is, of course, that it was, held in the hands of the DOJ leaders under the last administration, the Biden-Harris administration. And we all know how crooked and corrupt so many of those top officials were, how they engaged in lawfare against President Trump. And he has a concern, and I do as well, that things could have been doctored in those records. So that's part of the concern. But I'm for full transparency. We all are. Maximum transparency. The president is as well. There's no daylight between him and the Republicans in Congress, and we'll continue to advocate for that, to let the people see the records and draw the whatever conclusions they will.
Talk about capricious. No wonder the man's job is in trouble. Stay tuned. And don't you just love how Johnson is now gaslighting Americans by saying the Republican Party is united? United how? In knowing that Donald Trump probably took advantage of young girls trapped in Epstein's clutches? Is that why we can't see the files, Mike? And now Johnson's waffling, particularly after he had to adjourn Congress to prevent a vote on releasing the files to the public, has landed him in real jeopardy. This morning, an MSNBC panel pointed out some striking parallels between Johnson and two of his predecessors, Paul Ryan and Kevin McCarthy.
How deep is this GOP rift? And is Speaker Johnson in trouble if he can't get Republicans? Oh, it was Johnson who used the bless his heart, talking about Massey. So clearly what the point is, there's a big rift, right, between Johnson and members of his party. Help us understand that rift.
If it was only Massey, it would be one thing. But the bigger problem for Trump is that it's some of his allies. Brian Jack of Georgia, who worked for Donald Trump in the White House in the last administration, is a close ally of the president, voted for a deposition or for a subpoena yesterday that would take the documents from demand the Justice Department turn over those documents. If it were just Massey, this wouldn't be a problem. It's much more than Massey. And as for the speaker, I don't know what kind of problems Johnson is going to have. Trump has turned on basically every other speaker who has worked with him, Paul Ryan, Kevin McCarthy, in various ways. And he hasn't turned on Johnson yet. But again, this is in my view, and I think in the House Republican leadership's view, this is a problem that the White House has not given a lot of cover for Republicans on. I mean, they've just part of the problem, the rift is at least being exacerbated by the White House and their inability to give any political cover to this story.
So, in other words, in Johnson's effort to prevent the release of the files to appease President Taco while still trying to give off the image that he's not trying to protect sex criminals, he's satisfying nobody. Kevin McCarthy, you will recall, had the same problem in 2023. After finally winning speakership, his tenure only lasted 269 days. That's the shortest tenure in more than 150 years. Johnson likely knows he could lose his speakership and end up just as politically dead if he botches his handling of this Epstein scandal. But it's also kind of amazing that he finally has real leverage over Trump and is choosing not to use it. And for that, he deserves to lose his job. So, Speaker Johnson, if you're watching, come out of the closet and stand up to President Taco. Something far worse will become of your legacy if you don't. I'm David Reddish.